Good.
Good. I'm gonna make in today's video cinnamon rolls, the best recipe you ever found on the internet. Nice and fluffy, and the best is cream cheese topping. The best. Okay, we're gonna start with our first ingredients. So we're gonna need some milk. We need full fat milk. Always full fat milk tastes better in any bakes. So it's really important you're gonna use whole milk. We need 240 milliliters of milk. We'll need 133 grams of granulated sugar and 14 grams of yeast. What we have to do first is actually warm up the milk. So the yeast is gonna be activated. So we're just gonna warm it up to about 110 Fahrenheit or 43 Celsius in a pan, basically on the gas. We're gonna warm the milk. Once the milk is warm, we're gonna put it in a bowl, in a mixing bowl. Add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar from that 133 grams you measured, and then we're gonna add yeast. Then the 3 of those gonna be activated. We're gonna mix them in a mixer for a few minutes. And then once we're going to leave them to activate for about 15 minutes. Our mixture has to be left and covered with a cloth. We'll need the rest of that sugar later on. So we have 133 grams of granulated sugar in here, only added 2 tablespoons in here. Rest we'll use later. For 15 minutes now, under cover. Okay, we can see the yeast has been activated. It's nice and foamy. That means it's ready. If it's not like that, then you have to keep it for a bit longer, or if it after 30 minutes time nothing has happened, you have to start again. That means your yeast could have been old or milk not warm enough and it didn't activate it, so there's no point to carry on with the rest and waste the rest of the ingredients. You have to start over again. Okay, now to this we're gonna mix it in a stand mixer. We're gonna add to this rest of that sugar we measured before, and we're gonna add 113 grams of butter, which is room temperature, very soft. This will then be mixing for about now. Yeast we're gonna mix with rest of the sugar and butter, 113 grams, just so it's combined, just a few minutes. To our ingredients, we need 2 large eggs. The size of the eggs are really important. We need 2 teaspoons of table salt, and we need about 563 grams of all-purpose flour, pre-sifted, or you can sift it. So we need those ingredients now. We're gonna start with adding first 125 grams of flour and 2 eggs, and then the rest of the ingredients. We're gonna add those here and mix it for about 30 seconds. First we had 120 have 25 grams of flour here now, and I'm gonna add it slowly first. Now we're gonna add a half teaspoon of salt. This is very important ingredients. Do not forget salt. Very, very important. Lots of people forget, and bake is not as good. Now we're gonna add 438 grams of flour. So rest of that flour we had. Slowly we're gonna add it to the dough. Now we have stopped this. We need to change the end. So we're gonna change to the bread dough end. So it's this one, and we're gonna make a dough for about 5 to 7 minutes with this. Now we're gonna be making a proper dough. With this end, we're gonna make the dough for about 7 minutes. Be very careful. At the moment, the dough is very wet, as you can see in here. We want it very elastic, so that's why we're gonna be making it with the dough end. And basically, mixer will do the job for us. Very important, after 7 minutes, your dough should be very elastic, not wet anymore. And you do not want to, if it's gonna be still wet, you want to add a tiny bit of flour. If you add too much flour, you're gonna ruin your dough. It's gonna be dry. So this is extremely important tip. You do not want to add flour if you don't have to. Very, very bad. Be careful with the flour. 7 minutes. Okay, it's been 7 minutes, but the dough is still wet. As you can see here, it's not elastic, it's just wet. So I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of flour and keep it in a mixer for another 7 minutes, maybe 5. In the meantime, we're gonna prepare a dish for cinnamon roll to bake them. This one is a bit smaller than usual. Usually we'll have 3 cinnamon rolls. I only can put 2. If you've got the bigger one, use bigger one. I'm gonna basically put some butter inside, and that's about 15 minutes altogether, but it's more elastic now, as you can see in here. And yeah, it's not as sticky as it was, and there is no dough on the bottom, so that means it's elastic, it's ready. Now we're gonna leave it covered for about 2 hours to rise. That will be first rise. And the cover, of course. Okay, now we need a filling. So for the filling, we need 113 grams of butter, room temperature. We'll put it on the dough first, and then mixture of cinnamon, 1.5 tablespoons. We're gonna mix cinnamon with brown sugar, light brown sugar. About 133 grams, or you can use dark brown sugar. I've got both, so I'll show you. But you can use that one. You can use a mixture. This is a dark brown. It's giving that nice texture to the cake. So it's up to you. Any of them is good, but definitely not granulated sugar. So whichever you prefer. I'm gonna mix it. Cinnamon with sugar, and it's ready. Okay, this is the second after 2 hours. We're gonna have to punch it with our fist to let the air out, and then on a sprinkle with flour, a little bit sprinkle with flour chopping board. We're gonna roll a rectangle size of 30 on 35, 30 on 45 centimeters. Okay, now we're gonna have chopping board. We need a rolling pin, a little bit of flour, dust of flour. We're gonna put all that dough in, rolling 30 on 45, and then we're gonna add some butter, then cinnamon with some brown sugar. That's it. Nice and stretchy. I put some butter in, and now we're gonna put cinnamon and sugar on top and roll it. Now we're gonna cover it and leave it for about 1 hour, and then we can for a second rise, and then we're gonna bake it. Now I'm gonna preheat the oven to 160 fan oven or 350 Fahrenheit. And then we're gonna bake cinnamon roll for about 25-28 minutes. If they're gonna burn on top, all you have to do is cover them with the foil halfway through, and they'll be after 1 hour they raised. Oh yes. Smell divine. We're gonna leave it for 10 minutes to cool down, and then we're gonna put icing on top after 10 minutes. For the cream cheese icing, we will need 113 grams of cream cheese. Then we're gonna mix it in a mixer. To this we're gonna add 120 grams of icing sugar, half teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and then 1 tablespoon of heavy cream. We're gonna mix it, and we're gonna have our icing. We've got our cinnamon rolls. You can see they're nice and fluffy, not burnt. And we've got our cream cheese topping. They're gonna be incredible. I'm gonna try them in a second. You guys gonna taste of the cinnamon rolls. Sit down. Cassie, what do you think?
Good.
Good. Tastes good?
So yummy. Excellent.
Delicious and fluffy.